You need to realize that not making a choice is a choice. If you choose not to do something, this is a choice which is going to lead to an outcome. And I've been there, and you could be doing it too, where right now you are comfortable. You know that you can be doing more, but you've got a roof over your head. You might have decent friends. You might be making an okay amount, but you know that you could and you should be doing more. And this podcast is going to be a bit of a letter, an audio file, a video to my old self, just talking about what happens when you decide to make that choice, when you decide to stop settling for complacency with your results, complacency with how much you're making, complacency with your life, with what you're doing, with the impact you're having. This is the video that I'm making for that old me, because I think that it's very, very important that people get this message. And I know that a message like this would have really helped me. I'm currently out filming in public as well, so there'll be people walking past me. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it out of my comfort zone? Yes, but we do it anyway because this is a nice backdrop. And yeah, right, so we'll get into it, and I'll swap sides because my other arm is getting very, very sore. This time, it was about a year ago now. This time about a year ago, I was working my full-time job, and I remember even when I first started that job, when I first got into it, it wasn't a bad job at all. Like, I enjoyed it. There was nothing bad about it. There was nothing horrible about it. There was no, oh, I hate this, I need to escape the matrix. It was actually pretty decent, and that was the hard thing, the fact that it was decent, because then that made it very, very hard to actually leave. And I remember there was just small things that I wish could have been changed. Like, I remember walking to work, and you would have just walked past the same people every single day, and there'd be no hello, there'd be no conversation, there'd be nothing. And it did break my heart, because I knew these are people. Like, why can't we just have the crack? Why do we have to just walk past each other every day and not say anything? And I remember I used to listen to podcasts like this, and I won't lie, I was wanking. And I wasn't actually physically wanking, I was mentally wanking, because I would have listened to podcasts like this and think, okay, I'm being productive, this is great. But the truth is, if you actually take no action off podcasts, nothing will change for you, and you will stay the exact same. So yes, listening to podcasts is a great way to educate, especially if you're out getting steps, walking, driving, you're multitasking, you're learning at the same time. This is great, but you actually have to take the action off of these podcasts. I worked 2 jobs at this time, and I was walking from my 9 to 5 to my 5:30 to 10:30 shift in the gym, because I was working both the jobs. I also had the business. It was just really starting off. Had a few clients, was starting to get results, but I knew I could have took it off a bit more. So yeah, it was really just getting started, and I was walking from one job to the other, and I was listening to a podcast, and on the podcast, the 2 men in it mentioned the concept of having to go against the crowd, of having to face rejection, of having to be different, and how much that will do for you as a person, for your own self-development, for your own improvement, for business, for entrepreneurship, for getting a great result, for everything. And that's when it clicked that this is a problem, because my whole life was rejection. My whole life was, oh, I didn't get medals at sports day. My whole life was, oh, falling out with this friend, and wishing I did something different and having regrets. My whole life was that. And that's when I realized being able to face rejection is a superpower, and being able to show other people that they can do it too, that they can improve, that they can become more confident from doing that, is a superpower. And I physically stopped when I heard them talking about rejection, and I wrote it down on my phone. I wrote down, it was the 100 Days of Rejection Challenge. I wrote that down physically on my phone because I wanted to take action off the podcast. I didn't want it to be another podcast that I would just listen to and move on with my day. and mentally masturbate off. I wanted to actually take action. So I remember I wrote it down, and that following weekend I watched so many videos on rejection therapy, so many videos on building resilience from doing these things, and I was very, very inspired. And I told myself this could just be a fluke where I now go off and I just do my own thing and I continue doing what I've been doing. I continue grinding in the 9 to 5 while trying to run a business, while trying to grow a business. But the truth was, I was doing too much. I could continue kidding myself and not take action, or I could take action. So I'm going to take my coat off because it's roasting. The sun's kind of going away. I told myself I have to start posting social media. I was already posting, but posting social media videos that were actually going to help people the way I knew that I needed to be helped. And that was through rejection therapy. That was through doing these things, asking these questions, doing things out of my comfort zone to build up the most important muscle in the mindset. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up. The important muscle in the body, which is the mindset, because we train our biceps, we train our back, but we never train our mindset. So I decided to do it, I decided to film it, and it started to go very, very well, and people reached out and how it helped. And since then, obviously, there's been a lot of other stuff that's happened from then. I've went to the fitness hotspot of the world, met so many other creators, collabed with creators who I used to watch. People used to make podcasts like this. I've collabed with them, and I've been able to get myself to the point where I've been able to leave my 9 to 5. I've been able to go my own path and stand away from the crowd, despite what people told me, despite people saying, no, you're in a good spot, you've got a really good 9 to 5, you've got so much. I still went away from that, and that's what's so important to remember, that yes, you can stand with the crowd, yes, that's the easy path, but if you want to be exceptional, you have to be the exception. So you can't follow the crowd, and as humans we want to follow the crowd, but we also want to be different, and that contradicts. So you need to make a choice. Which one is it going to be? Are you going to go with the crowd? Are you going to pick the easy life? Are you going to pick the easy life? Are you going to pick the junk food? Are you going to pick the cookies? Are you going to pick the easy job where you can just take over? Are you going to hide in complacency, or are you going to actually make that change that you said you wanted to? Are you going to actually show up for yourself when you said you're going to show up? Are you actually going to wake up whenever you said you're going to wake up? Because that's what's going to make you the exception from standing away from everyone else who is average. Because the truth is, if you've listened to this podcast this far, you don't fucking want to be average. So why are you doing average shit? Why? So that's what I wanted to really say, because you've probably listened to a lot of podcasts like this and you've never took action, you've never done anything off the back of it, but it's made you feel good because of the fact that it's a productive podcast, it's a self-improvement podcast, so feel good about yourself. But the fucking truth is, you're just going to keep wanking, you're going to keep mentally masturbating unless you actually take action off podcasts like this. So I want you to actually open your notes right now and write down, what action step are you going to take off this podcast? Don't let this be just another podcast that you quote unquote learn from and you get ideas from, because you're never going to take action. Like, it's not thinking that gets you there, it is actually taking ruthless action and learning. Like, for example, from what I've learned from the rejections, this is a random one, if you overthink a cold approach, if you're about to approach someone and ask for their number, if you overthink it and try to make it perfect, try to think of the best pickup line about, you're never actually going to approach them, because you're going to overthink it. Your brain's going to talk you out of doing it and you won't do it. So you just need to take the action. You might say something stupid, which I've done before, but you learn from that, and then you realize that you're the type of person that can take action, and then you continue taking action. It creates a positive feedback loop. Because your brain works against you a lot of the time. A lot of the time. Your brain wants you to masturbate and watch porn because that's easy. Your brain wants you to eat junk food because that is easy and it is cheap dopamine. Your brain wants you to scroll because that is dopamine instant. That is instant dopamine if you're annoyed because you can't do hard work and you're annoyed because you can't feel motivated, you need to realize it's you. You're the reason that you feel that way because you've allowed yourself to scroll. If your brain knows that it can get cheap dopamine from scrolling, why the fuck would it want to read a book? Why the fuck would it want to do a bit of work that's boring, quote unquote boring? Anyone who's successful has conditioned themselves to enjoy the hard work. They enjoy the climb. And the things you do is what dictates if you enjoy the climb. So yeah, take some action off this podcast. The action step I would give you right now is, well, it depends what you want to do. Is it getting into shape? Is it starting a business? Is it starting social media? I've heard this in a podcast too. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't make this up, but the magic you're looking for, the result that you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So for everyone, it's gonna be different. Everyone hates different things. Some people hate admin. Some people hate fucking speaking on camera. Some people love speaking to the camera and they hate the other sorts of work. But the work you're avoiding is the thing you need to do first. So what is the work that you're avoiding? Is it going to the gym? Are you not going to the gym? Is it waking up on time? Is that your biggest crutch? Everyone has their biggest crutch. Is it people pleasing, not telling people how it is? Is it listening to your parents and your friends who are conditioned and believe that, oh yeah, you can only do this? Everything outside of the normal life of working, balance, all of that is normal, and anything outside of that isn't normal, and you should be complacent. What is it that you are avoiding? And what can you do straight off this podcast to get you closer to it? Is it reaching out to a certain person? Is it asking a person a certain question? Is it reaching out for an opportunity? Is it asking someone for a job? You could do that right now. You literally have access to communicate with people on your phone. So you could do that now. So what's it going to be? Are you going to continue the way you've been continuing? Or are you going to take action off this podcast? Whew. And that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, if this was if this was helpful, please let me know on Instagram. Please give me a text because I love to see how it's helping and what other podcasts I can make to help you guys out and you girls out. I want to make sure you're winning. So yeah, rate and review, that helps too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you do want to join my coaching community, message me time. But no pressure. Like, I'm okay making these, I'm okay giving out free value. I just want you to fucking take action. So fucking take action. If you struggle with accountability, realize you struggle with accountability, you can reach out for coaching, or you can let your friend know, whatever it is. Just do. I want to see you winning. So win. And yeah, that's it. Don't let this be another one of those podcasts. Let this be the podcast that changes your life. Just like last year, when I was working the 9 to 5, when I was a dreamer, I let that podcast change my life. So that's pretty much it. I really enjoy this. I really enjoyed making this podcast. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Oh, time to dial in.